The stadium lights of Seoul shone brighter than ever that night. BTS were finally performing their comeback concert after months of practice. Thousands of ARMYs screamed their names, waving purple oceans of lightsticks in the air. Backstage, chaos mixed with excitement. "Jimin, drink some water before going out," Yoongi said, handing him a bottle. His voice was calm, but his eyes kept scanning Jimin's face like a protective shadow. Jimin smiled softly, that small dimple showing up. "I'm fine, Yoongi, don't worry." "I'm fine" is what you say before collapsing, Yoongi muttered. Jimin giggled and leaned close enough for no one to hear. "You're cute when you're worrying." Yoongi rolled his eyes, but his hand still went to Jimin's hair, fixing a strand that had fallen out of place. "Just be careful on stage, okay?" The floor looked slippery after the pyros. "Okay, Hyung," Jimin said sweetly, his voice full of warmth. The lights dimmed, the intro VCR ended. Screams filled the air. BTS walked onto the stage. They performed Dope, Idol, and Fire back to back. Sweat poured down their faces, but the energy was wild. Jimin's dancing was flawless as always, sharp, elegant, breathtaking. Yumi's rap in Dechwada shook the whole stadium. But even as he performed, his eyes found Jimin across the stage again and again. That's just how it always was. By the time they reached Run BTS, Jimin was exhausted, but he never showed it. He smiled, sang, danced, twirled, until his foot slipped. It happened so fast no one processed it right away. The stage light flashed, Jimin's heel caught on the slick surface, and he fell hard off the side ramp straight into the fan section near the barricade. Jimin, Yoongi's mic was still on when he shouted. His heart nearly stopped. Fans gasped and screamed. Security rushed in as Yoongi threw his mic down and ran. "Move," Yoongi barked, pushing past the guards. Jin and Hoseok followed him, both pale with panic. Jungkook climbed down the small barrier while Taehyung shouted for medics. RM's voice echoed through the stadium, trying to calm the fans. "Everyone please, stay seated. We need space, please." Jimin lay there, surrounded by chaos, one hand clutching his side. His eyes fluttered, open weakly. "Yoongi," he whispered. "I'm here," Yoongi said, kneeling beside him, voice trembling. "Don't talk, baby. Don't move. I fell, didn't I?" Jimin said weakly, trying to smile, but his lips trembled. Yoongi's throat tightened. "You scared the hell out of me." Jungkook helped hold the fans back while the medics arrived. Yoongi refused to leave him inside even for a second. When the stretcher came, Yoongi climbed in the ambulance with him, despite staff telling him to stay. "I'm not leaving him," Yoongi said coldly. At the hospital, Jimin was taken for scans while the others waited outside. RM kept talking to staff. Jin was pacing. Taehyung had tears in his eyes. Jungkook's fists were clenched. Yoongi sat quietly, his face unreadable, but inside, he was breaking. When the doctor finally came out, everyone stood. "Minor fracture on the wrist, bruised ribs, and exhaustion," the doctor said. "He'll recover soon, but he needs full rest." Yoongi let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. He nodded slowly. "Can I see him?" "Yes, but only one at a time." Yoongi was inside before anyone else could speak. Jimin was lying on the hospital bed, hooked to and fro, pale and tired but awake. He looked up and smiled faintly. "Hey, Hyung." Yoongi sat beside him, gently taking his uninjured hand. "You could have died, Jimin." "I'm sorry," Jimin whispered. "I didn't mean to." "Don't," Yoongi interrupted softly, brushing Jimin's hair back. Don't ever say sorry for getting hurt. Jimin's eyes filled with tears. I ruined the concert. Yoongi sighed deeply. Jimin, listen to me. You didn't ruin anything the moment you fell. The show stopped for everyone. Nothing matters more than you. You understand, but the fans. The fans love you, Yoongi said firmly, and if they're real fans, they'd rather see you healthy than see you on stage in pain. Jimin nodded slowly, his lips trembling. You're mad, right? Yoongi leaned down and kissed his forehead. Mad that you got hurt, not at you, Jimin smiled weakly. You're sweet when you act tough. Shut up, Yoongi muttered, though a small smile crept on his face. A few hours later, the rest of the members visited one by one. Jin brought soup. I told you to eat before stage. What did you eat? Jimin giggled. Sorry, Hyung. Taehyung and Jungkook came with balloons. Get well soon, Machi, Taehyung said, dramatically. RM patted Jimin's shoulder gently. Next time, we double-check the stage floor. You focus on getting better, okay?
Even Hoseo cried a little, hugging Jimin carefully. But through all of it, Yoongi stayed quietly in the corner, watching, worrying.
That night, when everyone left, Jimin turned to Yoongi again. The room was dim, moonlight slipping through the blinds. Yoongi, Jimin said softly. Were you scared? Yoongi looked at him, eyes glistening in the dark. I thought I lost you. Jimin reached out his hand. Come here. Yoongi hesitated, then moved closer, sitting on the edge of the bed. Jimin touched his cheek gently. I'm sorry for making you worrying. Stop saying sorry, Yoongi whispered. You scared me enough for a lifetime already. I'll make it up to you, Jimin said. When I get better, I'll cook for you. Yoongi chuckled. That's not how you make it up.
Yoongi brushed his lips against Jimin's forehead, then his cheek, then finally his lips. A gentle kiss that spoke more than words ever could.
A week later, the company announced that the concert would be rescheduled. Fans sent millions of supportive messages, trending Get Well Soon Jimin worldwide.
Jimin spent most of his days resting, but Yoongi never left his side. He'd bring him snacks, write lyrics beside him, even rub softly while Jimin napped. Sometimes he'd just sit quietly, watching Jimin breathe, like making sure he was really there. One evening, Jimin sat up slowly, smiling. You know what I realized? What? Yoongi asked without looking up from his notebook. You love me too much to admit it. Yoongi smirked. You talk too much for an injured person. Say it, Jimin teased. You love me. Yoongi put the notebook down and leaned forward. Until their faces were inches apart, you already know, so why should I say it? Because I like hearing it, Jimin said, voice soft, eyes glimmering. Yoongi sighed. Fine, I love you, idiot. Jimin grinned widely. I love you too, grumpy. A week later, BTS stood on the same stage again. This time, they checked everything twice. The floor was dry, the ramps were covered. Before the show, Jimin adjusted his mic nervously. What if I slip again? Yoongi touched his hand. Then I'll catch you this time.
Jimin laughed softly. You sound like a drama lead. Yoongi smiled. Then you're my lead dancer. When they went out, the cheers were louder than ever.
Before performing, RM addressed the crowd. ARMEs, thank you for your patience. And love Jimin's all better now. right? Fans screamed. Jimin stepped forward shyly, waving. I'm really okay now. Thank you for waiting for me. Yoongi stood behind him, smiling like someone who just won the world.
When the final song ended, confetti filled the air. Jimin looked at the crowd, tears forming in his eyes. Thank you for not giving up on me.
Yoongi stepped closer, whispering just loud enough for Jimin to hear. I told you, you're my stage, Jimin. Without you, it's just silence. Jimin turned, smiling with tears glistening. Yoongi? Yoongi brushed his thumb under Jimin's eye, wiping the tear. You did perfect. As fireworks burst above them, Jimin hugged him tightly. The crowd screamed, but Yoongi didn't care. He held him close, murmuring against his hair, don't ever scare me like that again. Jimin nodded, whispering, never again. That night, when the members celebrated at the dorm, Jimin sat quietly on the couch, watching Yoongi talk with Namjoon. He smiled to himself. The man who rarely showed emotion had held his hand through the worst, cared for him, and reminded him what love felt like. When Yoongi noticed his gaze, he asked, what are you smiling at? You, Jimin said simply. Yoongi raised an eyebrow. Me? Yeah, you being here, you being mine. Yoongi chuckled, pulling Jimin closer until their heads rested together. Forever, okay. Jimin nodded softly. Forever. The end.